Summer has a 15-ish point bustle, but it's a little bit less complicated than that. We do have two different sections of this dress that we are going to bustle. The first thing that you're going to notice is that we have a separate layer underneath that is a little bit shorter than these outer layers of lace and tulle. Down the center seam, we are going to bustle all of these layers together, but on the sides, there are a series of 10 bustle points that are only on the outer layers. We're going to start at the back center, and we are going to go ahead and lift it up here at the back center seam. The first thing we come to is this ribbon loop. This is not part of the bustle. It is a hang strap, and it will just be kind of here. So ignore it. And you're gonna notice the next thing that we have is there are gonna be a series of these ribbons and plastic loops. And they're all down the center seam here. We're gonna go ahead and lift this up nice and high, and Summer's gonna hold that. And we're gonna go all the way to the highest one that's really right here under her booty. So we get real close and comfort here. Now, there is a loop here that this ribbon goes through. There's another one all the way up under here. The goal with these bustle points is to get this little loop and this one to be touching. We want them to kiss. So we're gonna go ahead and tie that ribbon until those two loops kiss underneath. Okay, just like that. On wedding day, you can go ahead and tie that into a knot. I'm just gonna tie this into a bow because we're gonna be taking that down. So that's nice and tight. You can tie it into a knot if you'd like to, but again, now all those are right next to each other. We're now gonna go to the next one. Again, pushing the fabric out of the way so that these loops can kiss. If you had this fabric here, it'll kind of bunch weird and it won't be quite as close. So there's the next one. All right, and our next one here, again, push that fabric out of the way. Once you know how to do one, you can do all of these. You'll be a pro. All right, so there's the next one. You can go ahead and let go, Summer. Thank you. As we get closer to here, it's not as hard to do by yourself, and it can just kind of hang. Always push that out of the way. That'll give you the best looking bustle doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Go, always nice and tight. And our last one here, just push that fabric out. And like I said, we are going to ignore this because that's doing zero things. When we let that down, we got a series of our ruffles here. So now we're gonna come to the outer portion of the lace and tulle. The lace is longer than the tulle, so there are two layers of tulle. So we're gonna make sure that we grab both of those and we lift up. And on the left side here, you can see we have a series of these ribbons where it's one long piece of ribbon that's tacked down, and we're gonna tie them together. I believe there are 5 on each side. It does not matter what order you tie these in. Either way, you want to make sure, just like those under bustles, we want to make sure that fabric is pushed out of the way so that these can kiss. We really want those spots to get really close to each other, and you can ignore that piece. It doesn't matter if it gets tied up in this or not. These ribbons are super grippy, so you don't have to tie them into a knot, but if you want to, you can. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, we're going to go to the next side and do the same thing. You could have 2 people doing this spot at a time if you wanted, or one person can do it. If you have 2 people doing it, it goes a little faster. Okay. There's that one. So we did 2, and then we have 1, 2, and 3. So there are 5 on each side. This is a little bit lighter weight, so it's easier to hold up than the other side. There we go. This one, just keep going until you don't have any more ribbon ends that you see. They will stop eventually, I promise. There we go. And then the last one is really up here next to her hip. The other side will be very similar. We did this mirrored. There we go. Perfect. And voila, that's that side. Now we're simply doing the exact same thing here on the other side. I don't know if it made much of a difference, but I'm gonna start all the way up at the top this time and work my way down, finding those ribbon ends, making sure that they are on the same ribbon here. Here we go. Next one. So as she's dancing the night away in this bustle is gonna stay nice and up. That's not gonna come undone as long as you tied that tight enough, or if you knot them. So they'll be just fine. This is really what you're doing when she is done pulling her train behind and she doesn't wanna think about it anymore and just wants to be in the dress. So there isn't a specific time that you do it, just when the bride is ready to have the train up. Once you put it up, you don't typically take it back down. All right. Last point here. All right, thank you, Summer. And that is her 15-ish point bustle.